Jared.
Drummer. Drummer. I'm Sivan, vocals.
I'm Jared, guitars, and this is Jiggy, bass.
Yeah, Jiggy's just absent right now. And we're Lynchpin, I think death metal band in Trinidad and Tobago. So our music is representative, I guess, of things that we not only read but see, especially in terms of crime in the country now. We also represent, I guess, people want to say the darker side of our music, but we don't really see that darker side. We see that more the reality-based side. Recently, we really started to move into writing socially, and a social end of it.
Yeah, social culture, so socially relevant material.
And I think it's something that people want to kind of sweep. They want to sweep under the rug. Murders became and crime became such a natural part of Trinidad life. For some reason, singing about it is wrong, but reading about it is right. So it's something that we kind of got into. The representation is both musical in terms of dark portrayal and I guess graphical in terms of how we dress and how we look. You'll see that we kind of wear the same shirts now. But I think it's a uniform ideal to stand up against something that you believe. So Lynchpin for us was always, the motto was a band and attitude. And
What's that?
that's our logo.
That's all.
It's a fist with the ring. It's like a linchpin, like a grenade pin. I think like when people ask us like where linchpin came from, the word. So linchpin was a word from before. It's just the idea of a smaller structure holding together a bigger device. So we see ourselves as the smaller group that hold together a bigger structure, especially in terms of the local rock scene. We fight really hard for like original music and getting more people to express themselves rather than just write what people want or play what people want.
We came together from different bands and different backgrounds with a common goal, which was to try and restart or kickstart, revitalize the local rock scene, because we thought that it was kind of taking a turn for the worse. Not even poppy. There were just not really that many bands. A lot of cover bands were coming out, and like we went from the 90s and early 2000s, but really 90s, where we had a lot of really good local bands
Recording too.
Yeah, and then there was just almost nothing. So we came together to try and help this grow, to try and start a movement.
Breathe some new life into
yeah,
it.
breathe life into it.
How long ago?
2009.
Yeah.
All of us came from very recognized bands. Aaron and I, but Aaron used to play in a band called Overdose. And they were really revolutionary in terms of new metal, and I played in Necropolis, which was like a death black metal band, which changed a movement in Trinidad. And Jared used to play in Vox Duos, which was a band that created this whole new idea of how rock could be looked at. And Jiggy also played in Amadon, which was a band that really started that whole progressive movement in Trinidad.
Yeah, like progressive metal.
But when we came together, I think the one thing that was constant was I wouldn't say we were fed up, but I think rock bands had lost. I remember speaking to Aaron around 2008 and saying that rock bands lost the edge. That rebellion, that fight, it was like they weren't saying anything. They weren't standing for anything. No bands wanted to go up and say what they believe because they think people will judge them. Whereas when we came together, I remember we used to go on stage and say kind of bluntly what we believe and what people, what we know society is moving towards. And some people feel unnerved, but I think the only reason you're unnerved is because you're saying the truth. And I think that's one of the harshest parts of music and I think that's one of the, I think all of us spoke about it, that you know, in movies and TV, you can portray something that will be looked at as an art, but music touches a different nerve. So when you say something in music, for some reason, it becomes a little more real.
Yeah, I've never understood that, because we actually got in a very heated debate once with some people who came to see one of our shows about why do we sing about this kind of stuff, about the content, and then we were like, you look at horrors and you look at movies that portray the exact same thing, and they were So then what's the difference? And
Exactly.
they couldn't really give us
For some reason, you don't
proper
want it
answer.
in your music, but you don't mind it in your news media. You don't mind it on the big screen.
So that what they thought that the music and the portrayal was too dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one thing that really struck me was when they said when especially like I guess in terms of my voice I think I put myself as the scapegoat a lot because I wear the contacts and I'm in front, but one of the things that really struck me was that they think by wearing the contacts and my hair out and have tattoos is the portrayal of evil.
Yeah,
And-
a certain look, and because you sound like this, you have to be
Evil.
or worship the devil and
Worship
stuff like that.
Satan.
Yeah.
And you know like we would see it as a joke. You know, like we would see that like, wow, that's really funny.
It's part of the show. It's part of the performance. It isn't necessarily tapping into anything that's sinister or evil or dark about us.
Yeah, it isn't actually, because when Aaron and I came into the band, our
First
one
conversation,
rule,
first
the
conversation.
literally first conversation with Sivan was nothing satanic, nothing anti-Christian,
And nothing against the religion.
yeah, nothing against,
Blasphemous.
Yeah.
nothing blasphemous, that was it,
Yeah.
nothing blasphemous
Be-
and nothing satanic, because,
Because in this band we have a different, like I'm very open, I don't have any religious background, but we have 2 Christians in the band and I have a Hindu in the band who's jiggy. So when we had our conversation, the first thing they say is like, okay, well, if we write in, let's pay attention more to maybe the social elements and criminal elements and let's not touch on the religious aspects. And I was like, okay, well, good. Well, we're not going that direction at all.
Yeah.
Even in our look, if you look at my old band to this band, I don't even touch religious aspects at all, even on stage at all.
well, which is ironic because our album God Complex and the song of the same name talks about religion, but not from
Spiritual
what we think,
perspective, yeah.
spiritual or blasphemous perspective. It's really
False prophet.
yeah, about false prophets and people trying to get these flocks of people to come and worship any god, but taking their money and just using them for personal and financial gain, which is something that we're very much against.
Politicians and religious leaders.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people
We look at the God
take that.
complex as not a religious thing, but a social, economic thing. You know, the beginning of the song actually has it. You know, I am your God, and I remember when I was young, I was at in a temple, and I remember when the person was speaking, the first thing that struck me when I was young, he said he was supposed to be in third person, but he spoke in first person, and he said, well, I am your God, and within that same line, he's like, and give to me. And at a young age, it struck me, you know, when you speak like that, you make everybody believe that you are God, that you are a vessel of God. And I mean, I don't want to say we're smarter than anyone, because I don't really see it either. I think that is just it's where you've grown, what you're brewed into thinking. You know, I've spoken to so many religious people who would tell you that, well, they give to the church because, you know, they plant a seed, and that seed will mature, and one day you'll get back your dividends. And, you know, I sometimes shudder. As I always say, you know, it's amazing. The pastor of the church has the best car here. You know, God pays good, tax-free.
Hey, what's up, man?
This Jiggy, basis. Early as usual.
And that's it.
We are Maroon 5.
Room 4.
Maroon 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so about the performance, a comment that we've gotten quite a few times after we perform is that, wow, y'all sound or y'all look really international. That was really international. And I think that owes to the performance that we give, because we understand that it's live music, and live music is not just about a sound. You're actually watching something take place on stage.
Yeah.
So hence the uniforms, that's all part of it. So we always try to have a theme for when we go. Even if the theme is, let's just wear our regular band t-shirts, which I can't
Yeah.
remember the last time we've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah.
It's coming up to Halloween, so it's the one time we get to look normal.
Yeah. We're always asked to play shows around this time.
Yeah, heavy.
Especially this time.
Yeah, heavy cycler shows. I think the one thing that we kind of really psyched about is that this opportunity with the Caribbean metal battle, where they're going to have bands from the Caribbean all coming together to compete. So we're going to have an application in, and
With only original music.
yeah, only original music.
Suriname?
Is in Suriname, and then the winner gets to go and play in Wacken, Germany, which is the biggest metal festival in the world. So I had an honor, and me and Jiggy went in 2014 to go and see Vaken for the first time, and I was so blown away by the quality, and I saw bands from all over the world at these stages. And when we talked to a lot of people, they said, well, these people actually competed in a competition to come here, and we actually sent them an email to find out, well, how come you don't have one for the Caribbean? And they said they didn't know the Caribbean had metal bands, so they actually created this, and we hope for opportunity to get to go Suriname next year. And once we get a chance to compete, we're hoping to get to go and get playing Vaken. I mean, it'll be the strangest way to ever start touring, but I guess there's something good. I mean, we love playing in Trinidad because we always feel like we have to fight. We have to fight for the rights of bands, and it'd be tough to see young bands thinking that the idea is to go and play for a bottle of rum or to play for a case of beers. And it's just disheartening to see young people thinking that you have to play Iron Maiden covers to be popular. Whereas I would think maybe writing and investing in your music, hearing people chant for your songs. And
not only that, the misconception sometimes is that you start off as a garage band and your music is going to be born here and die here.
yeah.
You know, but the technology now is such that you could cut an album, so you have something tangible to represent your music for years to come.
And that can go global.
That
Yeah.
can go global, exactly. The music gets out there. We've been getting a lot of international attention from the metalheads in Europe. Last year we voted. What some metal?
Yeah, we were
Caribbean metal competition.
Yeah, we were
listing.
we were labeled across the world as represent metal bands throughout the world, and we were listed as Trinidad's representative of metal. So we were voted like a Caribbean representative for metal, and it was an honor to actually think that we were placed in that, and we were put on a global compilation of metal recently too. So it's just to see that, but a lot of people think that we literally just go and put music online and hope for the best, but it's a lot of work, you know, a lot of work. I mean,
Plenty behind the scenes.
yeah, I mean, when we had to get ready for just the album, they had nights and days doing video, organizing album. Just how the artwork would lay out was a problem by itself. So we know that we were willing not to take any compromise. You know, we knew we had a lot of work, and this is what we want, and we're hoping actually by next year to be finishing up to get ready to release another EP, and to constantly be doing that, because I mean, to us that's the essence of being in a band.
We're very meticulous and very serious about what we do. And that takes a lot of people by surprise, I think, because they associate local rock or the style that we play with people who aren't serious.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why that is, but it is.
A lot of people just think that by going out and just performing is it, but it's a lot more than just going out. When you think about death metal people, I think even OMG magazine, I think when we messaged the first time, I think most people expect to see long-haired people who just dressed untidy walking in place. Most people are shocked that I have a mark.
Spikes.
Yeah, we have degrees in this band. We have teachers in the band. We have masters in this band. We very academic at the same time. We're really into like technology, music, meticulous about music, and we even meticulous about time. I think people actually be shocked that when they meet us, they'll be more like, "Y'all a death metal band? You sure?" Because at shows like we kicked like heavy alcohol drinking in the band. Nobody smokes cigarettes in the band. No drugs in the band. So he's always a very worst example of a metal band.
Of rock and roll.
And we have
Metal,
we have like
whatever.
fellas playing football, fellas getting into exercise, guys ensuring that they're healthy. I remember a time before a show we were talking about we shouldn't be eating fried foods because they're not good for you. And that was the conversation. I was eating cookies and drinking ginseng.
And we never drink before performance.
Yeah, we never drink because if we drink before performance, we look normal. I'm convinced. Well, I think the high we get is when we go on the stage and we see those fists get up in the air, and we hear people calling for our songs, and we know people actually know the names of songs. It makes us realize that the responsibility we have is people are paying to see us.
It's a great feeling
Yeah.
to perform and hear somebody sing your music back at you, that's one of the greatest feelings in the world.
Especially with my kind of vocals, if they know the lyrics. It's amazing. But it's something I think that we really pushing towards now is that we meet younger bands and we're trying to help younger bands. But I think sometimes, you know, especially in the fraternity, sometimes it could come across like, oh, we know. But it's not like that. It's more, this is where we walk this road. We want you to not follow, but just take heed. You know, there are a lot of people who will look to use and abuse you. And really don't want to see young bands have to go through that because we went through it enough. Well, the next part of I think Lynchpin's evolution was both Jared, all three of us went to Europe recently. Aaron is still saving, but we hope in fact he gets to go. But we got to visit a lot of concentration camps. He went to Auschwitz and we went to Dachau, and within there I guess we realized how much we don't know. And at the same time, how much we don't understand that level of suffering and what those people went through. And it influenced a lot of our writing. That our new album that we're going into is going to be based on that ideal of the death camps at Dachau and what one person's journey through it. So all our songs is really going to be dedicated to that, where we're doing a lot of research, a lot of reading, and I guess personal influence. You know, even some of the plaques that were there. It hit us a lot. One of the plaques in particular, I think, up to today when I talked to Jiggy about it, I just remember when he said it, that a plaque and all the persons that were there, the bodies they found, they just burnt them and they had ashes and they scattered it all across the ground and they put the graves of 1,000 unknowns. And it's so weird that you have people here that their families don't even know that they're here still. So it was really, how to say, I think it was the first time we started to write outside at Trinidad, and a lot of our songs move in that direction, so we're moving into I think our first try for a concept album, hopefully released in 2017, 2016.
I think mine would be the album launch. We really pushed the album launch, but we sold tickets from beforehand, but we just never quite knew what to expect from the launch. We had the album, we really pushed for the album. Blood, sweat, and tears went into the album and the launch as well. And we had a lot of merchandise also. But we still, because of the type of music and because of playing, you know, in Port of Spain, we just weren't really sure what to expect, and the turnout was absolutely phenomenal. We really just had to stand up for a moment and just be like, wow, well, these people are here. Okay.
I remember worrying, like these people are here too.
Yeah. So that's my OMG moment.
The band launch, the album launch was a big OMG moment, but I think every time I read an international article, the guy from Singapore, these guys from Finland and stuff, whenever we get put on a metal compilation or get some sort of accolade for being a Caribbean metal band, I have these little OMG moments because it you really, I mean, being in bands from since in the 90s to now, and like I said, the music starts here and it dies here, and every time you get that little spark of international attention and someone says these guys are doing great things in the Caribbean, you guys should take a listen, it takes you back. You step back and you go, wow, people are listening to you, you know. That's it for me.
That's me? Okay. Hey, what's up? My OMG moment would be, well, not like that, but it had a show we played in, what was the name of it? Well, Park Place, but it wasn't Park Place then, it was Rock of Ages. And that was the most brutal crowd I had played in front of. He didn't want to stand up. He didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
He didn't want to,
it was in terms, I guess it was like the crowd was giving us so much energy that you actually see steam coming off.
Yeah, it was intense. That was my playing out OMG moment.
Yeah, we have video of that.
Yeah,
That was when the guy broke his
Yeah.
finger or
Yeah.
something like that.
I
Yeah.
assume plenty of people went home
Yeah.
With
We didn't.
injuries.
with injuries.
Um,
Not that we condone that type of thing, but
as
you know,
a heavy band,
sometimes-
as a heavy
sometimes
band, you
it
know.
would happen.
We hope that those people sought medical attention.
Yes, I
Recovered
hope
from
everybody.
Linchpin medical plan.
Well, I spoke to most of them.
But I guess my OMG moments, I have like maybe two that always be in my head. The first OMG moment to me was when we were performing a long time ago, and while we were performing, somebody started, and it's something I have always looked at, that the crowd did not call for any covers, and they were calling all our songs by name. And I remember when we were reaching the last song, people started to chant for the last song, and they were starting to call the song by name. And they actually knew the song to play. And as it started, word for word, they were falling into the song. And they knew what to happen next. And to imagine that people were actually caring about our songs and not really caring about any other songs made me think, wow, that's amazing. But the other OMG moment I think that I still look at is the chemistry I have with the band. A lot of people just think that we rehearse how we're gonna move when we barely rehearse how we're gonna sound. But just a couple nights ago, my fiance was showing me something with us performing, which was a group of photos they put as a collage, as a GIF file, and I actually saw. I stood up on the edge of the stage and I put my fist up, and I actually saw my whole band just literally rock back, and we didn't plan that. But as I put my fist down, the song just started and it just went heavier and faster, and like my OMG moment has always been like amazed that four people actually found each other in the most random way, and that we actually made one sound out of that in unison, because there's no bias in our songs. There's no song that Jared, Jiggy, Aaron, or I write is, well, I don't like that riff, okay, and we just throw it out and we write together, and all our songs is written by Lynchpin, it's not written by.
It has to be pleased with the end result.
Yeah, I mean,
Public is.
no one has ever said, well, I really like that riff, please put it in. If we don't like it, we'll come back to that later. And that's it, and I think that has always been my OMG moment, watching us. I tell them, I watching us on stage sometimes amazes me, because it look like we really rehearsed that. But I think we just really like how the song sounds and feeling it when we
We
feel
like
it.
what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like to come on the
Love.
stage dripping, really dripping. And we spend more time putting this on than tuning sometimes. You know, it just takes long, but it is worth it because people see it, and that's it. The OMG moment is there because when you walk out on stage, is that level of energy and that intensity. You could even see all of us change before we hit that stage, mentally, emotionally, because we've been laughing before we hit that stage. Hit the stage and suddenly nothing funny anymore.
Go time.
Yeah, it's go time. We have 35 minutes. Let's destroy this place. And I love when we reach the end, how you can actually see how tired each one of us are. Like we're literally down to the last ounce of energy, and more likely Aaron will say, let's go before we faint, and just start. And that's it. That's to me is always the OMG moment. Because I tell them, I say, by the time we reach the last song, don't stop because I'm gonna die just now. So hurry it up.
Guys, we have one more song left in this.
And I have 20 kilo juice energy, so let's go. But to me, that's always gonna be the OMG moment. The band and the energy we get, I love it.